Hey guys, SeanB, and today we are talking about the RTA tier list that was made by Seiishizo. He is a high rank player, legend finisher, god tier PVE team crafting. So I'll link his YouTube channel, his Twitch down below, together with a video where he made the tier list. He gave me the green light to discuss the tier list with you guys from my perspective, which is like C3 comparing to his Guardian standard. So I may have a different opinion about stuff. So hopefully after this, you'll get a better understanding of the RTA meta, why certain things are really strong and why certain things might not be as strong. From 75 and onwards are more generic picks, which are good overall. From 70 downward are more like counter pick and last pick. And here at the bottom, we have good old Gelnia. First, let's look at the top of the top. There's nothing in the 100. I think by that he means there's nothing that is uncounterable in the current meta. So we start with 95. We have Arta Ragdoll, which is usually, the most annoying thing to deal with, no matter what kind of rank you are in. We have Gianna, who is pretty much countering an entire rune set that you build for high rank PvP, which is Will Rune. And we have Yonhong, crazy turn cycling, healing, damage, just super insane on violent rune. So these are dominating the LD Nat 5 category. Down here we have Jäger, who used to be pretty shit. It's like a luxury fire monkey king, but now with the insane damage output they can do, countering Shiho and Daphnis through their invincibility and shield, he is now quite insane. Like, you pretty much get his stack in turn 1 after the enemy take a turn and they do some damage to your teammates, and he pretty much just one shot a lot of different things out of the gate. We have Nephthys, who is a big counter to these two units right here due to her defense break, silence, and ignoring RNG fact. No need for accuracy, so it's easier to build her because you can ignore one stat. You can build her max resist to be even more annoying. And we have one of the best immunity unit in the game, Pater. Why is he so strong? You can't control him. So you can control pretty much any immunity unit in the game, but you can't control him. You can only reset his cooltime. But most Pater on violent, they'll get back their thing very soon. And then as an immunity unit, he can also stun and do a lot of damage. Can be built very tanky. Overall, just solid. So LD Nat 5 dominate the meta, which is nothing out of the ordinary. Now we start seeing some elemental unit with the Wind and Water Beast Rider. Water Beast Rider is right now currently the most praised unit for the elemental family because she do just way too many things. When you have a lot of buff, she can even ignore defense, strip attack bar boost, and then one-shot something with second skill, defense break, and kill. She's very fast all the time, and it's just crazy. In a team that provides CC, she can allow that team to go first with an attack bar boost, and that is huge. So overall, just a very crazy unit. To me, she feels like a Lauren, but just can do damage, and Nat 5. Savannah, on the other hand, need a bit more setup for a skill 3 to be effective. But somehow Chiwu is free to play to many players with Savannah. I swear to God, every time I see Savannah, it's Savannah Chiwu. So Chiwu strip Savannah, push back everyone attack bar, defense break them, set up for a very fast and clean match if Savannah get the skill 3. But if she doesn't get a chance to use her skill 3, she can do her skill 2, which strip. Everything that strip is good in RTA because immunity is pretty much your only protection against all these things. So Savannah is also quite crazy, but for something that need a bit of setup, might not be an 85, but I'll put her to 80. Still really strong unit. Every time I see her, I don't like that. And they have very good base speed to start with. So these units are just incredible in the high control, high damage meta. Beelzebub, another LD Nat 5 that you have to ignore him. If you kill him, he come back to life, one shot your team. If you ignore him, his skill do a lot of damage. So either way, he will kill your team. I don't think we need to talk more about Hathor. She's just too good. One way to make her maybe more controllable is to make her skill 3 do damage like Savannah. So she might not be as good against fire unit, and she may go down a little bit. But right now, with the fact that she doesn't care about element and has some massive control, and strip into sleep is much better than strip into dots like Savannah, she can just totally destroy even double immunity team. We have Viva Chell, very annoying in a good, well-tuned team, because she can switch somebody HP and attack bar, and then that person will have 1 HP, and then somebody will just kill it off immediately. Also provide immunity, which is really good. Speed skilling damage, great for late game combat, and overall just a very solid unit. We have Leona, who is incredible. If she's last pick, she just completely is a false ban, or you just get dominated by one single unit. A Chroma counter to all the CC unit that you see in the top tier right here. Can't be touched, can solo an entire CC team as well. The 2-turn silence is kind of nice. Now we are seeing less LD Nat 5, more elemental unit. Starting off with Tyrannus, one of the best win unit in the recent days because of the rise of things like Barbara. Tyrannus provide way too many things in a unit. Stun, good damage, scale with defense, can increase his own defense via buff and passive. Unkillable in some situation. A reviver that can't be killed. An immunity buffer that can't be stunned. They managed to kill their own weakness. That's why they're so good. So that's Tyrannus for you. A reviver that makes Eladriel look like a Nat 3. We have Ganymede here, works really well with Hathor, works really well with pretty much anything, to be honest. So still a very strong candidate after many recent changes to him. Still a very strong unit to pair with pretty much anything that needs a cooldown reduction. Chiwu, Ciara, Vanessa, Fran, all speed lead. Speed lead is really important in RTA. If you take the first turn, your plan will go into motion. And that's when you can destroy the enemy if you're well tuned, your stripper move, your damage dealer move, and you can control the flow of the match if you go first. And they make things like Barbara, Savannah, Hathor to be crazy. Vanessa allow these bruisers to have a second chance in life, make them even harder to deal with. Fran, one of the best immunity buffer in the game, free to play. If you don't have Peta, see this? Fran is right here to save you. A violent Fran can just go crazy with so much healing and attack break to control these damage dealer over here. So she's still very high ranked. But Barbara, with her strip and high damage according to enemy buff, is kind of shutting down Fran pretty strong. And overall speed lead, Chiwu is rising up in the rank due to the recent buff allowing him to push back attack bar regardless of enemy wheel runes or not. Let's say if you have speed lead, the enemy doesn't have speed lead, he's technically just become 120 something speed with his speed lead. And he just shut you down, shut your swift unit down. Usually Chiwu will be built on swift nowadays. Very strong unit. Compared to Triton, who's a bit more selfish, doesn't bring speed lead like Chiwu. You have to tune the unit to Triton. It's much harder because its base speed is way too high. And yeah, just the lack of speed lead make Triton not as good as Chiwu. That's why Chiwu is right here. We have Daphnis, pretty much a false ban if you don't have a unit to counter him like Triana or Vanessa or Tyrannus. He'll just take one unit away almost immediately. A well-run Daphnis will always kill a Fran in the same level. Like, no Fran will have enough stat to take a Daphnis hit. So he's really strong. Can kill Ciara and Ganymede too if they're built on like more damage, like crit damage, Ganny for example. So he one-shot way too many things and he's just a huge threat. Without the need for attack buff or defense break, he just do it on his own. Tianlang, super good against attack bar gain team, shut down a lot of fast teams, so overall he's a very solid unit. But a lot of people pick him with Diana in lower rank. Like, don't do this. Some people still pick him with Diana and they just destroy their own Diana attack bar gain.
Stop it.
Now we see Oberon, lower than Daphnis. This caused a lot of confusion between player because Oberon doesn't need setup to one-shot something, but the potential damage of Daphnis is much more. And I think the fact that Daphnis can strip If he doesn't kill, he still did strip that unit immunity so that you can control, do something after that. And the AoE reset is also really strong. Oberon with the ventilate is insane in a team that needs another nuke after Oberon, or like ventilate Bastet to go one more turn, gaining attack bar gain. Because usually you will take 10,000 HP right off the bat. You put a defense break there, you do somewhere from 20 to 30,000 damage without the need for attack buff. It's not easy to make Oberon do somewhere that is like 40k to a unit. So that's when Daphnis is really strong. Triana, counter to Daphnis, overall a great immunity unit, is a force to be dealt with if she make it through the pig ban, because you want to usually deal with her first. With crit damage build, do a lot of damage, so solid option overall. As you can see right here, except for Pater, the two immunity unit that people use the most are actually free to play friendly, Fran and Triana. So if you want to look for a good immunity choice and you don't have Wusa, you don't have Amelia, you go for here. Vert is gonna be here for a long time, pretty much forever. I don't think they're gonna touch Vert at all because he's been like this for such a long time. And now people know that triple revenge or just violent revenge Vert in general, that revenge proc can just change the flow of the game. It counters things like Savannah AoE with a triple revenge build, Chiu AoE. A high resist Vert can tank Vanessa defense break pretty consistently, because not a lot of people invest accuracy into Vanessa. So if you have high resist and you're on revenge rune, you can pretty much change the flow of the match just by one revenge proc. If you have Vert in your team and enemy has Ragdoll, you are still not at a disadvantage because Vert can just gain so much attack bar compared to Ragdoll now. So pretty crazy unit to have. As you can see right here, you can already form a team with budget-ish unit with Fran, Triana, and Vert. And you can see Lucia right here. You can see Amina right here. You can make a team already out of these budget unit, and they are used almost every day. I see Ileana can buff immunity, violent proc into own turn cycling, the skill 2, briefing. And after she breathe, she go another turn. And after that turn, she can proc another violent. So she can just keep doing her skill over and over again, and her briefing can cleanse as well. So her support potential and turn cycling is just massive. For something that can use an instant turn like Vert or Mina, it makes the team crazy. So Ileana, I've fought her many times. Every time I see her, I am scared. Amelia, one of the best immunity buffer in the game, goes really well with Ragdoll, goes really well with Bruiser Calm. And if you reset Amelia with Ganymede turn 1, for example, you strip her, you reset a cooldown, she take a natural turn, proc 1 violent, and she can move in her human form and buff immunity immediately. You can't do that with Fran or Velaju. If you reset Fran or Velaju, they need a couple more turns. But Amelia, 1 violent proc, back to immunity. An immunity unit that can CC at the same time, but her damage output is negligible per se, comparing to Pater, who can crit you for 20k with the defense break. That's kind of nutty. Amelia, freeze, and just unlimited immunity. Really good. Defense buff is massive. We have next to her a sister that can also pretty much do the same, but with anti-crit, which I mean is kind of trash. The anti-crit buff, I never really like anti-crit buff. They need to make anti-crit buff just disable enemy crit. Okay, I'll take that. There are not a lot of anti-crit unit in the game. If it can immediately disable enemy crit, that will be pretty cool. Because when you buff anti-crit and they still crit, it's like, why do I even buff this thing for? Next, we have another pony. So pony family is pretty high rated. She is the killer for all the water damage out there. We're looking at Barbara, Mina, Lucia, Shiho. There's a water werewolf right here. Josephine. She just destroy all these water units. So when you pick water, you will see Diana. It's like free to play. I swear. I don't have Diana, so when I pick 2 water unit, she just appear. I have to ban her. If I don't ban her, she just destroy my entire water setup, which is insane. And she doesn't need a lot of speed and can still move very frequently. Juno, I don't see her a lot. I'm not too scared of her because I use Lauren a lot and Lauren destroyed Juno. But if you pick her right into those CC comp like, let's say Chiwu, Ganny, Hathor, Savannah, Gianna, for example, and then you ban out something that will kill you, and then Juno can pretty much solo the rest of the team. But overall, I wouldn't say you see Juno that much. To me, she's more like down here as a niche counter, because from 70 and downwards, they are like last pick or niche counter. So I think Juno is like 65. She's still good in the niche that she feel, but I'm not too sure about this. So far, I think all these tier lists are pretty correct. We have the fastest stripper in the game, Mr. Wunsa, comparing to Chiwu without speed lead. Once again, you have to tune people to him, so it's kind of tough to play with him. If enemy doesn't have will runes, then this unit is meaningless, right? So I think we saw that in Legend Tournament. You can just don't build will runes and then this guy will be meaningless. So it depends on if you know the enemy is gonna play Wunsa. Mina rise to the top, being one of the most picked water damage dealer for sure. Super strong, low rune requirement, just do so much damage. If you have accuracy on her, which you should be, can control, stun. Overall, just a solid unit, can be built on Violent, Swift, or Vampire. Super versatile. Vigor. As I said in my 2-way tier list, he's now rising in popularity due to his capability to support with speed buff and anti-crit to deal with all these high crit based team, and the 3-turn defense break that can't be shaken off too easily. So overall, a solid water support as well. We have Boverk here to deal with these high defense, unkillable thing, and also immunity buffer. So Boverk is still very high in the chart because he doesn't need a lot of stat to do damage, or he doesn't need stats at all to do damage. You can build him whatever way you want. High resist, high accuracy to steal buff, violent or wheelchair revenge. There are many ways you can build this guy, so overall solid unit to pick into high immunity team, as well as to deal with these unit right here. So some people are here because they can kill these. So he doesn't crit, so he doesn't care about Arta Ragdoll. Elucia, similar, super high control for Arta Ragdoll, or just overall just a very solid unit with irresistible 2-turn sleep, healing, and just crazy support. She brings so much into her, but she get countered by double immunities though. So don't pick her when you see double or triple immunity, then she'll be very useless. Okeanos still high, not too sure about that. He fails a lot. The 1-turn CC is not that good comparing to multiple turn CC like Hathor, or attack by control like Barbara or Savannah, because when you get stunned, you take a turn, you can still violent proc out of it pretty easily. I will put Okeanos to like 70, maybe like 65 to me. I don't see him a lot. I see Beast Rider more. I still see Ganny Hathor, but I see less and less of Okeanos these days. Velaju, counter to Hathor, solid unit, can do so much damage with the recent buff, making skill 2 having low cooldown. The strip into sleep will work less effectively on Velaju due to glancing, and one violent proc from Velaju can just make the Hathor go away. One Velaju a day make the Hathor go away. Zulien, crazy damage dealer, can stun, impossible to kill. So overall, just super annoying to deal with as long as he has double immunity to protect him from being CC. Crazy unit. Every time I see him, it's either you shut him down, he just violent proc and destroy your entire team. It's like a Miho, but you can't kill it. You can kind of kill Miho with not crit, but this thing is just like unkillable. You have Masha here, or the Beast Rider are here already. Really good unit. A lot of damage, super fast, crazy turn cycling with Verd. She make attack by reduction not as effective on her, so controlling her is not easy. So overall, just a very solid unit, and she's just crazy fast. So much turn cycling. Light Horrors, one of the rare unit that can buff attack bar while having a speed lead. So naturally, if you use him at speed lead, he has much more speed than he should be. So Very good unit overall, even if you use him without Copper Bulldozer. You don't have to flex an enemy with Copper Bulldozer. You can just use him with immunity buffer and vert and just overall crazy unit. He can buff attack by every turn. And the defense buff and the anti-crit allow your team to survive so much better. So combine him with Ivelaju or Fran for protection for your team because he doesn't buff immunity. That's the lacking part. You take turn 1 without doing much and then your entire opponent team can sleep you. Then not that effective. But if you combine him with an immunity buffer, then your team will be moving constantly and not scared of getting killed with so much buff going on. Works really well with like things like Velaju, Boverk, and overall just a solid unit. Of course can combine with Copper Bulldozer to flex on the enemy. So one thing we don't see anymore in the high tier is RTA-er. Shiho is actually falling down to 70 because of the rise of things like Mina, easier to build, much more damage, more effective overall. That's why we see Mina here and we don't even see RTA-er anywhere near the top anymore. And Shiho is falling down as well. For me, I think Okeanos and Alicia can move down a little bit because double immunity just destroy Alicia way too much. And Okeanos, I see much less in the general population. I think Vigor can also move down a little bit. And Bover as a counter pick to specific unit like RTA Ragdoll and immunity buffer. Actually more on like Amelia. Because if they have one immunity unit only, then Bover is not that good. So I'll move Oki, Alicia, and Bover down just a notch. Yeah. Now we're going down to 70, which is more like last pick, counter pick. So we're seeing Amelia rising up in the rank. Used to be a meme, but now people realize that having a unit that can steal a turn to counter cleave or just to steal a turn from enemy damage overall to heal up, boost attack bar is kind of great. So he's getting ranked up and he can also stun and do good damage overall. Solid unit, very hard to kill, and overall a great water pick against enemy team. We have Raki rising up the ranks as well with her recent buff, killing through Triana and Vanessa, destroying things like Miho. Just very good unit. But I wouldn't put her as 70 though, because she's also a niche unit. So might go down a little bit. She does destroy Vanessa passive, which is very popular. One of the most popular first pick in the game, Vanessa. So she being here is not wrong, but maybe going down a notch would fit her more. Shiho is still high, but not too high anymore. If you pick Shiho last, when you don't see a Diana, very strong unit. You pick Shiho a bit too early, you see a Diana, a Hathor, a Ciara, a Savannah. Especially Savannah can strip and do a lot of damage, then Shiho might be destroyed quickly. Also Ethna is a very strong threat. So that's why she is not as effective anymore. If he takes turn 1, an enemy has full Will Rune, Shiho can do 1 skill 3, strip the buff, and pretty much doesn't do much after that. Unless he can stun right after. But with Mina, you might start the fight with something dying immediately if you have a very hard-hitting Mina. So that's why that's the difference between Shiho and Mina right now. Doesn't matter enemy has Will Runes or not. It's just pew 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 and then one thing's dead. Shiho, boom 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 boom. Nothing really happened. Leica being next to Shiho used to be a meme as well for Leica, but with the recent buff being a bit more tanky and also hitting through shield and invincibility, he now destroys things like Daphnis and Shiho pretty easily. Just like Jäger. Asima, great last pick. If you see enemy doesn't have any form of immunity, she can just wipe the entire enemy team on her own. If you pick Greedy without immunity and you miss the chance to control Asima, then you're pretty much dead. So she's way too strong, putting in the right spot and being a nice last pick counter pick. I think she belongs in this group for sure. Ethna, also very good win unit, but compared to the thing like Savannah, the AoE defense break of Ethna, you know, very nice, but the AoE defense break of Savannah with full attack by reduction and speed buff for the entire team is kind of crazy. And the strip of Ethna into stun, not bad, but it's still pretty RNG-ish, whether you stun or not. So that's why she's kind of here and not too crazy like Savannah over here. We have the Light Polo Queen being paired with Ganny Hathor, and you will never see the light of the day again. she can reset, have AoE debuff. But if she's used alone, then she's not that crazy. But if you pick her with things like Daphnis, they use their nuke, kill one unit, she boosts them back, kills another unit because she reset their cooldown. So she needs to be paired with somebody, and she can't be a loner in a sense. So that's why she's down here in the 70, and unlike Ganny, who can pretty much control and reset, then Ganny is here and she's kind of chilling down here. Next we have another LD Nat 5 Heritage. You see usually with Bastet, you see usually with just heavy buffer. He can nullify a damage dealer and just become unkillable with such high defense, do a lot of damage. But I don't see him often enough in lower rank to really give him a value this high. Maybe once a week I'll see this unit. Then I don't think he's like here, but he's really strong. Yeah, maybe he can stay here, but maybe in the 65 or 60 to be honest. Leo is getting popularity. Personally, I've been using more Leo as well because of all these speed scaling thing that is rising in popularity, and because I don't have speed lead at all. So the only way to neutralize all the speed enemy has is to run a Leo. So a bruiser come with Leo and Vert and a high resist tanky Triana. Sometimes very effective against these high speed unit. So Leo's getting popularity for sure. Lauren being the most popular, being the most discussed for a long time, doesn't make her one of the best unit because she's usually not too tanky with Nat 3 base stats, so killing her will be easy for like a Daphnis. And if she misses her strip in the first turn, then she just kind of sit there and she can miss her strip for sure. If you use Lauren every day, every single match like me, because I have nothing better to do or to use, then you know that she fail a lot. And when she fail, then it's just like sometimes she's the only stripper in your team. Let's say you pick Vanessa, Fran, Lauren, Vert, Triana, because you're poor and you only have Vanessa. And when she misses her thing, that's it. Enemy buff immunity, you got no more strip and you're done for. And because you are so swishy, they single out your Lauren and just destroy her multiple times. Akia rising in popularity because she can now increase cooldown, AoE, and without waking enemy up with Hathor. Also, having one of the best skill 1 in the game kind of helped with her ranking. And she can strip as well, but her strip into something else is not that consistent. So using her might not be as good, but definitely a very good option for AoE control as well as single target control. Now we have Triton down here in 65. As you can see, very similar to Chiwu with ATB reduction as well as strip. Without speed lead, he's down here, and Chiwu with the speed lead is up here. Even though he brings 2 turn silence after his strip, very strong, but he's kind of down here. Honestly, you can be him a bit slow on despair, can just do a lot of things to the enemy that they don't expect. Lima can strip consistently now and also buff immunity. That's why she's now, I would say, a very nice counter pick to heavy immunity unit, being able to strip them all, and also a good protector for your damage dealer. But you don't want to pick her all the time because her immunity is not long, only 1 turn, so she's more situational. If you need a strip to get her immunity, that's her utility. Next we have the light druid who can strip into glancing and provoke, but because there's no attack bar manipulation like Chiwu, then you need very good speed tuning with this unit for your follow-up to be good. If you have a very fast light druid, you can strip into provoke and glancing, shut down a different unit, but glancing doesn't shut down things like Hathor or Ganny, so they can move in between and, you know, cut your team. Which means if you want to use this guy, you need to be speed tuned quite tightly. But an AoE stripper with extra CC behind the strip is always going to be good. So he's in a 65 counter pick, very nice unit. Lydia for slow cleave people. She is the one that makes slow cleave much better than it should be. I tried using slow cleave recently for my own account with Christina. You might see the video. Honestly, there are way too many counter to it. You have Chiwu, you have Daphnis. Shiho can solo a slow cleave team because he can protect himself. And double immunity kill it double stripper, kill it. There are many ways to kill a slow cleave team. But with Lydia, the enemy can do a lot of things to her teammate. She can just wipe the entire enemy team in one hit. So that's pretty crazy. They need to make Christina somewhere near that so that slow cleave can be a thing again. Miho is in 65. I think this is like SAB. This is like kind of C tier. Miho is here. She's good. She's annoying to deal with, but she's not unkillable. There are many things in here that can kill her. A lot of these units are support based units, so they may not crit her. There are stun, dots, and heal block that destroy her. So she's kind of chilling down here. She's good if you pick her right into high crit based team like Verd, Diana, or high damage team like Beast Rider and Daphnis. But if you see a support like Lucia, like Gany Hathor, like what else do we see as support right here? Like a Nephthys, like a Viva Chell, like Fran can kill her pretty easily. So she's kind of chilling down here. She's really annoying to deal with if she's last pick. That's why she's in the last pick category as a counter, because you can't really prepare for her. You have chosen to fight aggressively with high crit unit. Now you have to ban her, you lose. So she's chilling down here in the counter pick department, which is correct. Wusa's in here, used to be one of the best immunity unit in the game, but now just overall a decent immunity pick because he doesn't provide much outside of immunity. The sleep is RNG. It happens in the most clutch moment on history of Summons of World Championship or Legend Tournament. But on a daily basis, you don't land that sleep, okay? Let's just accept the fact that we don't land that sleep that often. The healing is based in HP, which means the healing will be reduced as times go by. And the shield will get weaker and weaker as well. So Wusa is very good in the first couple of turns where he takes first turn protect your team. But as the battle drag on, he becomes weaker and weaker and weaker. That's why he's not that good compared to Fran Triana, which gets stronger and stronger as the battle move on. That's why he's kind of chilling down here. We have Nyx, who brings RNG to all these CC unit by just being there. And the resistant leader is really annoying for those people who don't run max accuracy. So it's just a very annoying unit by being in the team. So that's where he's quite a good counter pick, last pick for all these CC people. Like imagine Sierra not landing bomb, which is quite common, right? Now adding Nyx in the table, she have more chance to not land her bomb. So very good counter pick, very good. I think he belongs here. Antares, super RNG unit, but the more you use him, the more you realize that he's not that crazy. It's kind of crazy how when you fight him, it's the worst thing ever. Every single turn, when you use him, wait, what? Is this the same unit we're using? Like, what's going on here? So he's kind of a good counter pick when you see team with low damage, or you see Diana just insta lock in Antares, and Diana user will have anxiety. So good counter pick, but not that insane anymore. So kind of chilling down here. We have Celia, good counter pick, first turn stealer due to her base speed but inconsistency, destroy her. We have Light Sniper, cleave counter, but I don't see him at all ever. Maybe because I don't pick cleave, so I don't see him at all ever, so I can't comment. 2A Bernard gaining in popularity, especially in Violent, to work with all these high turn cycling unit, especially Verd, Ileana, Beast Rider, Mina. The unit that can take a lot of turn works really well. Bernard, Marsha as well, and he brings defense break. So it's like a Verd on Violent, but provide defense break as well. So that's low key pretty good for any damage dealer out there. Samav, good counter pick. Speed lead is always great. We have Tetra, who's a good counter pick to probably only her and her. You don't really see her outside of that. So I wouldn't say she's like here. She's more like here a little bit because she's not that popular. But we're already venturing into the non-popular segment. So I guess it's okay. But not too high though, because you only really see her when you see Nephthys and Gianna. And that is like, you only see her much in tournament when you see a lot of Nephthys and Gianna. When you see Nephthys, this is like crazy good. Light Bomber, who's arguably, in my opinion, the best bomber in the game. except for Ciara, because bomb, stun, and the bomb can stun. And he also reduces attack bar with the stun skill. So overall, just a very solid last pick. If you need a last pick for CC, crazy good. Belenus, good last pick as well. When you see enemy doesn't have immunity, he can also kind of one-shot the entire enemy team if you build him well and crit damage. Violent of Despair or Rage if you're that spicy. It's like a Sema but elemental, you know? Set up for his own and destroy them on his own. Rika, similar to that. I have 1v4, 2v4 with Rika so many times. Can say that she destroy people with no immunity. The slow debuff, the dots. Dot damage is pretty much ignore defense, right? We have Gemini here who synergize well when you want to go a bit spicy for your daily PvP with unit like Beast Rider, with Ganymede Hathor, with Okeanos. The defense break, the speed lead allowed your team to just finish the fight a bit faster. So goes really well with high speed based damage dealer like Lagmaron as well. Just overall solid stripper turn 1, but if enemy pick triple revenge vert, then you kind of fucked. Now, an AoE stripper that works more with bruisers because the defense buff allows you to stay in the fight a bit longer. I think overall just a decent AoE stripper that can provide utility as well. You have Ashdrubal, the male Hathor, but no stripping because male. That didn't come out right. But yeah, just like Hathor, but male version and no stripping. Speed lead though, so very good if you need a speed lead. If you have one and you don't have Hathor, I recommend building him. It's very similar. We have Segment, who's rising in popularity, especially in tournament, because you see a lot of Tyrannus. Segment allow you to steal Tyrannus thing and kill at the same time if you are lucky. Also, the AoE defense break destroy this unit a lot. But overall, comparing to Hathor, she bring no AoE control unless you build on Despair. So you pick her alone is kind of lackluster because she doesn't do much, especially when she misses her thing. Even if you get the skill again, in the end, she still missed her reset. So that is big. So that's why she's kind of chilling down here as a counter pick to Tyrannus most of the time. And also a good counter pick to, let's say, heavy immunity unit like Fran plus Wusa on the same team. So you just steal the immunity, get your skill back, steal more immunity. And yeah, it's just an immunity stealer. Josephine used to be a bit higher here as a water unit to counter CC. But with people building Ganny faster and faster, destroying Josephine passive, then she's kind of chilling down here. And then if she's not having her passive, she's kind of useless. You can stun her and then she becomes just like any other unit. Now we're going down to like more gimmicky counter pick unit. So there are way too many and I think this video is already way too long. We have RTA-er that's fallen down here for way too far. way too far because he needs Violent proc to really pop off and he needs very good rune for him to be fast, tanky, do a lot of damage, have good accuracy. He needs a lot to do pretty much what Mina can do, but with just much less rune requirement, right? So yeah, as a vert counter, his stripping is not consistent, so not very favored by a lot of people right now. So overall, you can use him when enemy doesn't have anything to control him. You can still go nutty with all the turn cycling, but overall, Mina just take his spot as a staple water pick. But Bastet down here, who is not favored by high rank, but in my opinion, in the C3 land or in the fighter land, Bastet is like in the 80. You see Bastet a lot because people want to end the fight fast. Either they go into cleave or they're going to just nuke you with Sierra and Daphnis. So for RTA in the lower rank, I think Bastet is way up because she just provides so much more aggressiveness for her team. As you can see, cleave unit is not favored by the boy Seiishizo because you can cleave to a certain rank and then your rune just can't deal enough damage or outspeed anymore, where everybody has speed lead to outspeed your cleave, or everybody just has so much HP and counter to counter your cleave. Because when you cleave, a high rank G3 player can just slap in Vanessa, Tyrannus, Miho, Triana, Beast Rider to not die to your cleave, and then they come back and then you're kind of dead. So cleave is very good to a certain rank where your rune just can't help it anymore. There are definitely G3 cleavers, as you can see from Foxy, but their runes are just massive. It's insane. You see their rune, you'll be like, of course they cleave, but overall cleave is not favored in high rank. But if you are talking about like a C3 tier list, I would say the Garo cleave together with Draco, Lucian, Julie will be somewhere in the 75. You see them way too often, and they're good in that range because that's where cleave can kill most of the thing. And yeah, cleave is kind of down here. You have Tableau, who's very popular for the Julie, Lucian, Gemini cleave. It's kind of down here. So it doesn't work in high rank, but definitely work in lower rank. You have, oh my god, there's just way too many. I don't think I can go into detail way too much longer. My War Young is like 60. So you can pick her for the speed lead, but she's not that good. That's about it. I think Izaria is more up a bit in like the Elucia tier. But she brings speed lead and she brings a lot of control like Elucia. So can be a bit more up. Virat is like Rika-ish. You pick them last to control. But compared to Rika with slow debuff or balance with defense break, the freeze alone just doesn't do enough, I think. And there are way too many win unit up here that get picked very often, especially Triana, can just destroy Virat. But yeah, very good tier list overall. I think that was way too long of a video. I don't know if you watched until this point. Let me know if you watched until the end down in the comment section. Leave a like if you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. And let's bring more discussion in the comment section and maybe on my Twitch live stream. Ask me anything if you want. Hey, here to answer. And that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.